Welcome back to the boringest channel on YouTube. Today I have a special one for you. I'm going to use all these ingredients here. Today I'm going to be making what people call goulash, at least in my part of the world. First thing to do is going to be brown the ground beef, or cook the hamburger, or cook the ground beef, or however you want to say it. There it is in the pan. That's about a pound, maybe a little bit over a pound. Just like all the other episodes that are dealing with ground beef, let's chop it up. This is 80-20. What are you doing? I'm trying to open the door. Now, back in the day when I was a kid, my grandma used to make a version of this. She'd do the same thing. It's loosely based on her recipe. She would cook the ground beef and then add V8 juice and tomato sauce and diced tomatoes or stewed tomatoes or whatever she wanted to add. Some tomato paste, different stuff like that. She'd chop up some onions. I'm going to do something similar. She would use the bow tie pastas. I like to use the spirals myself, and I prefer rice noodles, brown rice noodles. So anyway, this is loosely based off my grandma's old recipe. Now, in detail, what's going in here, we have some Florida crystals for the sugar. That's the only kind of sugar I like. And a yellow bell pepper, a sweet onion, tomato paste, tomato sauce, white mushrooms in a can. Normally I like to use, fresh mushrooms, but the store was sold out and my grandma used to use these, so we're going to put these in there. Original diced tomatoes, some low sodium V8 100% vegetable juice, Swift Burn Smoky Bourbon hot sauce, the last from a gift set, garlic powder, onion powder, and some cowboy seasoning and rub from Weber. And then finally I'll put the noodles in. These are I think they're called tinkiata. Yeah, organic brown rice pasta, my favorite kind. Yep, so this is a spin-off my grandma's recipe. It's kind of like based on her recipe, but then I sort of take it in my own direction here. As you can see, the beef is done cooking, and I'm going to leave it full-bodied. I'm leaving the fat right in it to make it saucier. Okay, now it's time to open the canned goods. Up first, I'm going to open up the diced tomatoes and green chilies, because these have to cook down a little bit. I have a manual can opener. Look at them in there. Not sure how well you can see that. Diced tomatoes and green chilies going in, and I'm leaving the sauce in too, because the sauce is flavor. Up next will be the mushrooms, because those also have to cook down. Better to start the stuff that cooks down earlier. There's what the mushrooms look like. Now I am going to dump the water out on this one. Up next, the V8 juice. Fresh as the day is schlong. This will serve as a liquid base that'll help the noodles absorb moisture too. Okay, next up, I'm going to try to do this on camera. I'm going to tear the... Oh, it just broke off. Well, that's not how we want to do that. To just slice it. Okay, so there's the stem. We'll just punch it out. We have these nice yellow bell peppers here. Nice and crisp, fresh. Okay, so now that I've removed the membrane and seeds, I'm just going to cut these up into small chunks. There it is. Nice Vidalia sweet onion, or Vidalia, or however people want to pronounce that too. I don't have to pronounce everything correctly. I'm going to do the same thing with this onion right here. I'm going to slice it this way first, and then give it a nice chop here on the edge. As you can see, the ingredients are now all in the saucepan. I'm going to use the spatula to break them up a little bit, because some of the onions kind of clump together still. Doesn't that look colorful and delicious though? Just look at it. Mushrooms, bell pepper, sweet onions, diced tomatoes, and diced green chilies. All mixed right in. The ground beef with the V8 juice. It's all just coming together. Alright, here's the tomato sauce going in. Tomato paste. Okay, I'm gonna have to spoon that one in. Okay, I got the tomato paste to go in there. Running out of room in here, but I think once everything sort of cooks down, it won't be so jam-packed in there. Okay, now for the hot sauce. Let's say that's plenty. Onion powder. Garlic powder. Put a generous amount of that in there. Finally, the cowboy seasoning. And once all that's in there, add some of the sugar. That should be plenty. We wanted sugar to taste good, not to be overpowered. All of these cans you see here will be delabeled and recycled, because we like to recycle around here. Alright, time to turn up the heat a little bit. Stir it all together. For that I have this fancy KitchenAid spoon. Slotted spoon. My spatula was KitchenAid also. Wow, look at how colorful. That just looks colorful and delicious, doesn't it? It smells really good too. Okay, time to let this cook down a little bit. Afterwards, I'll add the noodles. Look at it boiling away. Man, it smells good in here too. Well, it's making a mess. Making a mess. Oh boy, look out. You can't make any kind of tomato stuff in the kitchen without it making a mess. Well, I'm coming out here to stir it. Just gonna make a nice stir here. Things seem to be cooking along just fine. Nothing's stuck to the bottom. Will I need a second pan? Perhaps. I can't wait to taste this. This is the first time I've ever made it. Alright. I'm going to turn the heat down just a teeny bit. And I can do that because it's a gas stove. It's not cooking down as much as I thought it would. And it's also making a mess. I'm going to have to go to plan B. I was afraid it would come to this. But luckily, I have a backup pan right here. Okay, so I just very carefully scooped some of this into here. You can really see the detail of how good it looks. But save that for another day, let it cool. And I'm gonna add the noodles in here now. Now I don't think it's super noodly, so I'm not gonna put a lot in. Oops, I dropped one. That should be plenty. Chester is on the case. Okay, coming in for what I think will be the final stir. Yep, I believe so. Those noodles look perfect. You can see the mushrooms and everything. It's all cooked together. I just shut the heat off, so I'm going to let that rest for about 5 minutes. I'll just save this as kind of a second batch. And there you have it. A steaming, beautiful bowl of goulash. A childhood memory, but a recipe that I tweaked and made my own. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Here we go. Wow. It tastes almost like my grandma's, but that's definitely a different recipe, but this is so good. Hey, you reached the end of the video. Now would be a good time to click subscribe. I made this outro special for this. I'll wait patiently until this video is done. Thanks for hitting subscribe. And if you didn't, I guess you'll miss out.